All right. So, hello, hello. Today's the fourth and last day of our AI literacy course for, individuals and professionals and how you can use AI in your everyday life and to also improve your productivity. So today I'm going to teach you guys how to understand your own data using AI. And by your own data, we're talking about for today, if you take any medical test work, we're going to go over how you can use your blood work to better understand. Even if you're somebody who's in the medical field, maybe you'll take a blood work for something you never studied, so it can be very useful to you. And also, we're going to go over and see how you can use AI to help you out with your finance, to understand your financial circumstance. So, we're going to upload a sample of bank statements and see how it can really help guide you. So now, as a disclaimer, while you're using these, just know that it's not professional advice. I'm not a professional with medical and finance, and AI is not a professional with medical and finance, but they're very, very, very like good. For example, for the medical one, the blood test, it's actually my blood test that I took, and then I met with a doctor and they gave me all the feedback that they gave me. And then what I did was I put it on AI just to see the advice that I'll get from the AI. And they said exactly everything that the doctor said. But the thing is, they gave me more because I can type and ask more questions, just ask for more without the medical bill for the advising. So as a disclaimer, all the feedback you're getting from AI, just take it as an advice, not as professional, but it's very useful. And there are companies that are building tools that are specific for those fields that are much more, you can say, like medical people or finance people have verified, but we're using ChatGPT and Notebook LM for this one. So this is just to get you started to understand how AI can help you out. All right. So while we do that, since this is the last day, I just wanted to show you guys like the process of just kind of give more than just that. So I'll show you how, for example, okay, let's just get started. So before we get to that, I'll just show you how just using AI to help with your productivity. So for this, for example, with writing and planning out, that's one thing we'll do first. Day four, understanding your own data and AI. So I've been teaching this class and I understand the context of what I'm teaching, but at the same time, I don't want to write out everything, right? So what I've been doing is for each day, you see day four, day three, is instead of me writing out everything, I'll usually just take the outline, copy, and go to ChatGPT or any of the other chatbots. For this one, I've been using ChatGPT since ChatGPT has information on the class. So would I take that and then I'll usually say something about like, oh, today is day four. My plan is to show how they can use ChatGPT and Notebook LM to um, get insights and information on medical blood work. Wait, and get BANKSAT okay, financial bank statements. Here is the outline for today. So what I've done is I told it, today's the day, and then what I'm specifically going to teach. And then I just put here what I just showed earlier, the outline. I put that there and then I send it. And then what it's been doing is, just help giving me a guide for the plan for the day. So some of them
Okay.
we don't like, that's what we've been doing to go over and everything. And so some of them, they fit in and some of them we don't go over, but for the most part, it's been very helpful. So for today, this is the plan of what we're going to do. So this is a good way if you're teaching something that help a quick way to help you get your lesson plan going, especially if you already have your information, but it's just to organize it. So I usually put copy and then I'll go over here, day four, and now I just replace it, day four. But let me actually undo that because
Mm,
I like that main thing, so I'll add as a sub tab. So this is
yes.
day four, what we're going over today. This makes it a lot easier,
Mm,
especially if you already know what you're teaching. Yeah.
mm,
hmm So for today, all right. So for today, we're going to understand our own data and then turning confusing documents into clarity with generative AI. And that is what those documents are to me. They are confusing. I read them, I get some of the stuff, but I don't get everything. And we're going to use
mhm.
ChatGPT and Notebook LM, but just know we can also use Gemini. Gemini is the app that we like here because it's free to use. If you're a beginner, you want to use free tools. Everything, they're all free, but it's Gemini is limitless if you want to add more and more forms and files
Okay.
for the free version. But so let me see, welcome and learning objectives. So ideally, outside of this class where we're just like kind of learning and understanding how to put the class together, let's say if you're a teacher, you wouldn't go through all this and fixing it, but this is what you do when you're preparing for a class, right? You'll go through and
Yes.
clean up
Yes.
and everything, not during the class, but before your class. So so today we'll use AI to better understand your own documents like medical lab results and financial statements without the needing the background in healthcare or accounting. So we're going to use ChatGPT and Notebook LM to get clarity on those things, and you, after doing that, you'll understand your own data some more and learn how to prompt for clear and simple explanations. So I'll show
Okay.
you how you can get those prompts, even if you don't have prompts already, but just how you can, get prompts to use to get better insights. So let me see an example of blood test results. So I'm going to do the demo now. So we're going to start with the blood work one. Um, can you explain the lab results in a simple language? What do the numbers mean? And are there any areas of concern? Okay, so I'll take this first prompt here. Let me see discussion how AI breaks down jargon, what to double check with the real doctor, where AI can help versus where it shouldn't replace experts. Okay.
Replace exactly.
So as a pro tip is don't upload anything with names or personal identifiers. You can redact or paraphrase real documents. So what that means is
Mm,
when they say redacting that means you're removing, and this is a very important thing for AI, especially if it's one that is free and public. Although they all claim to
mhm.
not, use your they use your data to train. So that's don't even believe when they say they don't use your data. They use it to train. Okay, unless it's one that
Mhm.
is paid for, then maybe you can trust them a bit to say okay they don't use your data. But I think in my mind I like to just say you know what they use the data, so that way if it comes out there's data breach, I'm not surprised. So some of us are comfortable with sharing our information, and some people are not. So, but
Mhm. Sure.
redact. Hmm?
I said sure.
Yeah. So redacting, what redacting means is to remove something. So if your files, for example, you see here, the medical one here, it has my name here. Ideally, this is a private information, so it will be removed. This is something you redact. So redacting is let me see. I think I did it with the medical one. I just wanted to explain what redacting
Okay.
means. For the medical ones, hey, I hope it's not redacted. Never mind. So the recording showed. All right, so I need to I thought I redacted it. Redact means to remove. So all I did was I used this one app
Mm,
to like highlight and remove things, but let me show you how it should look like if it was really redacted.
okay.
This is what it should look like, where you erase the private
Mm,
information.
yes. Yes. Okay.
That's
Okay.
what redacting means. So I do need to go find a tool to really do that. I know if you're using like a paint thing, you can actually do that, but here it's a PDF editor. I think all I really did was just highlight. That's all I did. I just highlight the information. So that's not redacting, but
Okay.
But we'll move forward anyways. I just wanted to explain what
Mm.
redaction means. So
Okay.
don't upload anything with names or personal identifiers. You can redact. That's what it means. Redact to remove the information before you upload. Okay. Um,
Okay.
so let's go look at this medical one, the blood work. So ideally, you would have your document that you want to review. This is the blood work that I took, and so it just had like a bunch of test results. I don't understand these, but the doctor did go over them with me, explain all this stuff. Oh, this means that. Da, 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 da. Hemoglobin. I don't understand, but they explained it to me. And then, so what you would do is you would. I think I had this one on ChatGPT. Let me see. Oh, I did have it on ChatGPT. So I uploaded on ChatGPT. This is one that I did before, and then I just told it, attach as a result of my blood work as a nutritional doctor. Can you give me feedback and advice based on the results? I'm a vegan, by the way. I just told it what I am. So if you have a dietary, anything, the context when it comes to prompting, the more details and context you give it, the better it works with you. So I let it know I'm a vegan because when it gives me feedback, I want it to consider that. So it really went through everything and told me like all these observation here when it told me I'm vitamin D deficiency based on your blood work test results and your vegan diet, here's analysis. And this all of these were things that the doctor actually went over with me, but when you're talking to them, you're not remembering every single thing, the details. So this is really helpful for that. So it's like you're low in vitamin
Okay.
D significantly. And this is what they told me because the question that I asked them was like, what is the main thing I should focus on immediately when it comes down to it? They said vitamin D, like you need to focus on that. So that's what it picked up. And this is critical deficiency that can lead to fatigue and weak bones. And then all these other things like magnesium. So it breaks down all these things here, like folate, vitamin D, your folate levels. So, for example, folate is essential for red blood cells production and DNA repair. I wouldn't have known that, if it didn't explain it to me. Although the doctor could have, but it's something when it's so much information you forget. So that's a good thing about how you
Mm-hmm.
can use ChatGPT to understand your blood work. And these things are very important when it comes to your health, to understand it. That way you can better fix your problems. Like with the vitamin D one, when they told me that, it made sense because I been staying inside a lot, So it's just like a better way to just understand your own information. And you can go further and keep
Mm-hmm.
asking more questions. So it asked me, would you like help creating a more detailed dietary plan? So we can help you do those things, create dietary plans. And I just told it yes. With the follow up, it says recheck blood levels and iron levels within 3 to 6 months. So if fatigue or other symptoms persist, consist with a healthcare provider. So it's nice to know that it actually tells you to, reach out to your doctor, but here it can give you dietary plans based on your own unique situation. That's the great part about this,
Okay.
It's not just generic, something you'll go search on a page. It's your own unique situation. And I'm pretty sure to go to a professional, they will charge you a lot of money for this. So since I told it I'm vegan, it's giving me suggestions for things that fit my lifestyle, and all these things. Lifestyle, get 10 to 30 minutes of sunlight exposure daily, depending on your skin tone and location. And I've been doing that because of it's I because I really haven't before the test, So it's just really good, and it gives you just suggestions. So this is very, very helpful as far as
Yes.
your blood work. And it's not just blood work, but just other tests. There's so many medical tests that we take, right? So just
Mm-hmm.
imagine
Mm-hmm.
how much helpful it can be when you have an assistant like this to break it down for you and help you create plans to improve your health and understand your condition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is just for the chat. So just
Okay.
if
Okay.
you can so this is this one here and it tells me breaks down everything supplements I can take, daily meal menu. I didn't I mean these are just suggestions. So some people if you're really in bad health, you can probably have to follow it. But I took this into consideration, so I did make a lot of changes according to what it's telling me. There's more I need to do, but this class is not about my health. It's just to show you what you can do. So yeah, and I asked it because I just wanted to test and see if it'll give me the same answer as a doctor said. So I asked her the same question, like, what is the one thing I can focus on that will give me the biggest positive difference? And the same thing the doctor said is focus on vitamin D because that is important for your bone health, immune function, mood, all these other things here. And it was the one I was more deficient in. So it can help you out with that instead of you going out to get a bunch of things and get distracted for what the main focus is. In Sierra Leone, I don't think there's any problem with getting the sun, huh?
Oh, yeah,
No
yeah, the
problem.
sun. uh, yeah, the sun.
The sun is out every day. Well, not every day, but it's
Mm,
out.
mm-hmm,
Mhm.
mm-hmm.
And they gave me an action plan on how I can, target this goal for my vitamin D. And I immediately went to get vitamin, but I also been going outside a lot more to actually get the sun. In America here, unfortunately, for people that live in areas where I live, it's very common for people to not go outside for most of the day.
Mm,
So there's a lot of people with vitamin D deficiency. And then I just, you can just keep asking it questions. So this is a nice part as far as like how you can use this. So definitely, talk to your doctors, get the feedback and everything. But as you know, if you want to talk to them some more, there's a bill. You have to pay some more to talk to them, right? Unless it's a plan that you're on that has like free visits, or assistance. But you can just keep asking. Like, I'm thinking of taking herbs that can help me tackle my deficiencies. And then it goes and tells me what I can take. And you can just keep on. Like, this is your own chat. How much calcium should I take daily? And you just go on. So let me see. Would you like herbal alternatives to yerba mate to boost your energy? Yes. So as you can see, it's just really good. And you could just actually have this information that you can look at as a reference when you go to the store to buy things, or if you want to see, oh, what can I do today to help out with this? That's all. So yes, give me a smoothie. It even gives me like a recipe for smoothies that I can make for certain things. Like, would you like a daily meal or smoothie to help with the HDL? I don't even know what. Oh, my high. It's a cholesterol level. Yeah, the good cholesterol. Okay. Oh, good. My cholesterol is really good. But so just this is it. And so with ChatGPT, it's very helpful and it's very similar to the way Notebook LM works. Um, but any questions for that one?
what? No question.
Right? Pretty straightforward, right? You put it there, you get your answer, and you can keep coming
Mm,
back to it.
mm,
Yeah, and then with
mm.
Notebook LM, and I'm sure you can probably even keep add if it's more than one test that you took, just add more of the document so it can have like a full picture of your health condition as the time
Okay,
goes by. And then so with Notebook
okay.
LM, where are you, Notebook? Are you here? No, I'm searching for Notebook LM. Mm-mm. Oh yeah, Notebook LM. Okay. So this is Notebook LM. So for what I just showed you, you probably can do the same thing. Let me see. For the medical one, I think for both the medical and the financial one, you can use both Notebook LM and ChatGPT or Gemini. So they'll both act similar as far
Okay,
as how it can give you feedback and advice on the situation. But like we've talked about last class, each one has their own unique benefits, pros and cons. So with ChatGPT, the thing is, like in this one individual chat, you probably, if it's free, so we'll talk about free for beginners, you probably can't upload a lot of documents. You can upload some like at a time because they have limits for the day for free accounts. So that's the con, but ChatGPT is also really, really good at the information that it creates. I think, when it comes to that, when it comes to the chatbots that connect to the internet compared to Gemini, it's really good because it connects to the internet, so it can fill in for things like the fact that it gave me recipes. based on my health and my diet restriction. That's this is not it. I'm not showing the right one, but it's really good with that. So that's why you will use ChatGPT, because it can pull more information outside of my documents. Now with Notebook LM, it's completely free. You can add a lot of documents. So if I have a lot of medical documents, like from my past when I was 20 years ago to this, like if I want to put them all up, I wouldn't say like you can put all of those, but it can take a whole lot. So that's the benefit. It's free and it can take a lot more documents that you can put in one notebook. And but the thing is, a limit for that is it doesn't really pull much more information outside of what those documents are. So it can still give you the feedback, but I wonder. Let's test this one out actually, because I want to see if it can give you like recipes, because the recipes are not um on the what's it called, on the document. They're just on the internet. So let me see. Ugh.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if it can. Maybe not to. Okay, so this is the same blood work. Yeah, so it'll probably give information, but I'm not sure if it'll give you recipes. So let me just check real quick before we go on to the financial one. Um, no, not that one. No. Okay. So let me just ask for feedback. Like ask the same questions and see what it responds. Yes. Key market range. It's important to focus on 15 markers. So they all answer differently. Um, let me see. Immune system markers. But this one, it's always just reading from your document, where this one, it
Okay.
combines your document and other information from the internet to create the response.
Mm,
That's why.
okay. Okay.
But with
That's the
this,
difference.
yeah, exactly. Your free testosterone level is low. So it still reads it, right? It gives it feedback, right? And everything.
Mm-hmm.
But in vitamin D, which is discussed below, can support overall immune system. While specific dietary protection for those who are complex, ensuring adequate intake of zinc, so then can support overall immune. Okay, so it's all vitamin D. This is common deficiency, especially if you have limited sun exposure. Yep. So it all kind of gives similar information, just the way it presents it is different. So you can even do this, be like, explain this. Let's see. Let me see. 10th grade. 10th grade typing level too. So it can do that. If it's too complicated to understand, you can ask it to adjust the way it presents the information. But now I wonder, let me see. Let's go with a, yeah, so it just adjusts the way it presents it. But for this one, it's useful, but I think I like ChatGPT better. But what I would like for this is if I have more tests and more medical stuff to keep adding more. I think that's where for this one, Notebook LM will be very more powerful than this. Although with ChatGPT, if you do have the paid membership, you can do something similar where you add a bunch of files in one chat. But if it's the
Okay.
free one, it's going to be a little harder to do that unless if you don't mind to wait for when you hit your limit, wait for the next day and then add another file. And then when you hit your limit, add another file. So it's all possible, whichever way
Okay.
you want to. But you use Notebook LM to say if you really just you don't want it to give any misinformation, even though if it sounds right, if you just want it to stick to your blood test and your information, your medical information, then Notebook LM. But if you want a bit more
Okay.
creativity, ChatGPT, not creativity as in like something wrong, but just if it can search the internet to support more information that you're, if you're asking more questions that's not on your blood work, ChatGPT will be good for that. Or Gemini.
Okay.
Let me see.
Okay.
Let me see if it can. Can you give me smoothie recipe? What was that smoothie recipe? Okay, let me put this one. Okay, the herbs. I'm thinking of taking herbs that can help with tackling my deficiencies. Which ones do you recommend? Let's see if we can do this. If we can do this, then Notebook LM is getting better with, well, let me not say getting better because it's good for what it does. Okay, so this is a difference, you see? Um, let me say, it says, I understand you're looking for recommendations on herbs to help with your identified deficiencies. However, the provided sources, which are lab results, do not contain any information or recommendation regarding specific herbs. So you see how it's saying it's not, it can't give you the herbs because it's not on the list, the document, you know? Now, if I put another document in here that talks about herbs that can be used for different things, if like that's addresses any of the stuff that's on my test, then it can look at those and then look at your test and then create a response, you know? But if it doesn't have that information about the herbs and how they can be used, it's not going to do that. It can combine information from two different documents and create an answer, but it's not going to just pull from the internet to do that. So, but it just repeats and says, you know, as we discussed before, this is your test, you know, just repeats it and it tells you. That way you can go and look for herbs based on
Okay.
these.
Okay.
So
That LM, notebook
yeah,
LM,
Notebook
it's
LM, yeah.
only paraphrase
Huh?
what you what you have got with. I said notebook LM, it only paraphrase what you get on the table and put them into sentences, right?
Exactly. It paraphrases. It can still like, yeah, create something different for, you know, so it still creates in AI kind of a way, but it sticks to what's on the source, you know? Yeah, so basically it's a smart way to
Okay.
search your data, you know? Like, although there's no checklist, I can ask you like, give me a, yeah. So yeah, it paraphrases what's on your documents, yeah, based on what information you're asking it, you know? So identify tests shown in first instance. So basically, I, yeah, like this one. So it can do things, but it's all just based on the source. So it's really good
Mhm.
for when that is very important, where the use case is dependent on the sources, you know, like employee training or internal employee documentation and things like that. Or even if it's for your own health and you really just want to stick to your own like tests and information, it's very useful. Like you don't care about internet or any other stuff that it can't do. So
Mhm.
it can do certain, like it can just, you know, pull from your source. So it's like these are the little tests: B12, vitamin D, ferritin, magnesium. Wow, it's so much. But I'm healthy still. But yeah. Okay. But yeah, but so we have that. And then now let's go look into the financial one. So very similar. You can also go on ChatGPT and do this, and or you can also just stay here in Notebook LM, or you can go to Gemini. But the main thing is it's usually the same thing. You provide the chatbot your documents, and then you ask questions. So
Mhm.
um, let me see. This one, the financial one, if you have bad finances, it's gonna hurt your feelings. But it's really good. If you want to improve your finances and get better at it, it's very very good. So this is just like sample ones that I found that I got together and everything.
Okay.
Um, so it just says based on your financial information, your statement and the conversion history here identified. So it just gives you identification. Just it just kind of breaks down how you're spending and where you're. So this is how many months is this? This is One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you can give it as many documents, like you say if it's bank statements. I think the more that you give it, the better. So if you can give it a longer range as the months go by, the better. And then also if you have other financial documents, so say if you are um, I know you own a home, so your mortgage statement, or you have investments somewhere. I think for full financial analysis, the more if you can give it everything based on your finances, that's when it can best help you. And then so it can do that. And then let me see, credit debt, 5 months financial. I'm trying to see what recurrent financial account trends. So this one it can tell you like how you okay, let me see. How many reward points are earned? What is I'm trying to um as a financial advisor, can you give me financial situation? What should they focus on to improve their? That's all. I'll just put that. What should they focus on? Yeah, so it says we read it. Overall financial situation feedback based on the statement appears to be challenging, primarily due to rapid increase in credit card balance and things like that. And the most pressing concern is significant accelerating growth of credit card debts. So it can just really help break down the numbers for you because it's sometimes it can be overwhelming to go over the statements and add up your numbers, and then reliance on minimum payments. It could just give anyways, you see it gives the answer to like what the financial statements are saying, like what the situation. So it's that they rely on minimum payments, and because the payments were made close to the minimum date and the closing date, and then high interest charges and long payoff time and high total costs and minimum payments. So it's just really good with that. And then it can give you balances of your statements. And then let me see and I guess it's giving feedback. Here are key areas to focus on: drastically reduce credit card spending, increase credit card payments beyond the minimum, build an emergency fund. Even while tackling credit cards, it's vital to start building a small emergency fund of 500 to 1,000. So you see, it's giving advice that to guide you like how much maybe you should start with an emergency fund if you don't know, because you hear all this advice online and everything, but the advice is never based on your own unique situation. So similar to the medical one, when you use these, it's really to get feedback and advice on your own unique situation and how it can tell you maybe what you should target to save versus what somebody else is saying. And then consider automating small, consistent transfers from checking to savings immediately after direct deposits. Just all these. Create and stick to a budget, understand interest calculation. And what you can do after all this, same like all of these, you can click save the notes. And then when you click save the note, you can add this, convert it to the source. So now it adds this on this side. Now it's a source. So now when you ask questions, um, it I guess looks at the source because remember I said I'm Notebook LM. When it answers, it's based on the source. So now it looks
Mhm.
at that now as a source for the answers. So now that for example, so this is an analysis on what was the question? The question was, no, I think I went too. Well, that was a long answer. Okay, the
Oh,
to give feedback on the financial situation on what they should focus on. So now it's considering all these the balances and the advice that it gave of like what to do next to increase credit. So now when you ask questions, it can really look at that, be like, okay, well, since you're working on increasing your credit payments, blah 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 blah. But that's that. I wonder what other. Let me see. Financial advisory, credit card. Okay, let me see. Oh, because earlier I was saying how you can use the AI to get answer. I mean, to get what is it called? What prompts to use, right? So we just
Mhm.
like we've done before. We ask, let's give Gemini some love because okay, Gemini. So we ask, I'm uploading my bank statements to. Let me say Notebook LM, but you would put whichever chat you're using, Notebook LM, to get feedback and advise. Let me just, yeah, so let me see. I'm uploading my bank statement to Notebook LM to get feedback and advice on improving my finances. What questions should I ask that will give me very useful and effective, honest information? Information that an experienced financial advisor would give. So ask this question, and then right. So these are the questions you can ask it. You know, like based on my bank statements, what are my average monthly income and average monthly expenditure? That you can kind of find yourself, but you just go through and see what it gives you. You know, are there any recurring fees or charges that seem excessively unnecessary? What percentage of my income am I saving and investing each month based on deposit? So this would be useful if you're trying to figure out, okay, how much should I save outside of like what I've paid and things like that, and then just to help you with your budgeting and your finances. Can you identify my top three spending categories each month, dining out, all of that? Can you identify any leakage where money is being spent without clear value or benefit? Oh wow! So you see, this is like where you can just get your what's it called? What is it called? Uh, Prompts. But let me see perplexity, because um, actually, let me see. Let me just search the internet. AI prompt for financial advice. Um, because sometimes I do like to just do a simple search and go find a website directly myself, you know? Because with the chat
Okay.
bots, when you ask them for prompts, it pulls from all sources. So you don't
Mm-hmm.
really get a choice to decide, okay, what website do I want to pull from, you know? So I just sometimes I think it's very useful just to let me reject all to actually do the regular searches because now it's like I'm on a website. Maybe somebody wrote specifically that is what I'm looking for. A game changer for financial advisors. ChatGPT prompts. Let me see. This may be no. This is not for That's for advisors themselves. ChatGPT prompts for personal finance. Okay, this is what I'm looking for personal finance. But The amount of time you need to reach your financial goals, such as which one? Okay, I see. So this is the prompt. I need to set up a budget that will help me reach my financial goal within this month. So you can. I don't think that one that we can probably use there, but let me see. I'm looking for advice on how to build a portfolio of investments that will generate steady returns over the long term. I'm looking for strategies to return my debt and improve my credit score over a short term. Okay, I think I'll try this. I'm looking for it. Can you give strategies to reduce the debt and improve the credit score over the short and long term? Based on information, remember it's always going to be based on information. So ChatGPT will probably pull it and give other stuff. So maybe we should, let me see. Um, Overall financial is challenging due to the rapidly increasing credit debt, your credit balance. The short-term strategies focus on halting debt growth, drastically reduce credit card spending, increase credit card payment beyond minimum, build your foundational emergency fund, create and stick to a budget. The long term is sustain aggressive debt repayment, maintain and grow your emergency fund, consistent budgeting and spending habits, understand the minimum. So now all these things are stuff you can pull from the internet, like they're not a secret. But the unique thing about this is like you can actually get the numbers based on what income you have or what debts you have. So
Okay.
you can probably do something like build a foundation emergency fund in the savings. Your savings account balance is critically low. This leaves you vulnerable. Consider automating small, consistent transfers. So you could be like, how much should I put for my emergent? I think it already told me that actually. Um, Actually, not the monthly fund. I don't know. Just asking a random question. That based on the sources, history, your financial advisor recommends that you start building. Okay. Okay, so with chat, so as you see with Nabukalem, since it's not the source, it's not telling us how much to do the monthly, but it did pull from this one that we added that the advice is to save the fund to build up to this 500 to 1,000. So that's what the limitation, but the good thing is. So I wonder, I would go to ChatGPT and show how to do this, but I think it's pretty let me not let me open up a free chat. Let's do Gemini because ChatGPT for the free it's limited, but Gemini I think at least we can Or should I show ChatGPT or Gemini? What do you want for the bank ones? Okay, let's see how much. I think this. I think I'll just leave it at that because this just shows at least what you can do. And then you can also just go to Gemini to do it. On Gemini, if you have a bunch of files and you want to add it here, you can just add from your drive because what you can do is create a folder in your drive. And from that folder, you can, let me see, I think I had it on, let me see. Keen. Where is? Why am I blanking out? AI course, Cloud9 AI workshop, day 4. You and experience, financial. All right, so what was that question that we asked? The last one we asked was this one. How much should um actually what was that other one? Can you give strategies to reduce debt? Okay. All right, so we pull the files from this connector to add from Drive from Gemini. And then once we pulled the files, we just told it the role that it had. Hey, Abu. um, of you. Well, I want to let him in, but I don't know how I'm not able to. Oh, admit. Hello. Hey.
Hello?
Hey.
Yeah, the network is disturbing.
I know, I'm so sorry. But I'll speed it up that way we can be done. And then next time we'll just do meet when you have internet, like on the weekend.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll
Yes, on the
just
weekend is very good.
yeah, so we'll do the weekend. Maybe like Saturday morning time to kind of get it done. Unless you have something to
Okay.
do.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
No, 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 no. I don't have much things to do.
Okay, so Saturday morning would be good, I think. Because we're supposed to meet tomorrow, but maybe let's just push that to Saturday.
Okay, no problem. No
Okay.
problem. Saturday will be fine.
Okay, good. All right, so I was just showing how you can also upload the files into Gemini. So just showing real quick to be done with the bank statements one. But when you click the add files here, if you have the add the files to your Google Drive, you can either upload it directly from your computer, or if it's from Google Drive, you add there and then you select the files. It can be multiple. So I already did it. So they're all here. Like I said before, with the free version Gemini, you can upload a lot. Um, what's So then I asked you can, and I just give it the role, told it that you're an experienced financial advisor. These are the past 5 bank statements from your client, and your responses do not include any of the client's PII information. So it looked at it and it just gave an overview immediately, like a summary of the bank statements and just its observations or recommendation. So you see, you can still do this also on Gemini, and same thing with if you just want the free stuff, Gemini, I advise to do that, or be patient with ChatGPT because eventually, if you have a lot of documents, it will tell you that's a limit and you need to wait. But same thing here. And the same questions that I asked before, can you give strategies to reduce? It already did that. So let me see this one just to show how because I asked Notebook LM here how much to put in emergency fund monthly, and it wasn't able to do that because the source didn't say how much to put monthly. Although the source says to aim to start with this, it didn't say how much to put monthly to get to this goal. So let's just see what Gemini says. How much
Okay.
should
Okay.
the client? Because with Gemini chatbot, it uses the source, the documents, but also it uses the internet
Mm.
to search and see. Okay, well, how much
Okay.
monthly should because it's on the source. So let's go look at the internet and see how much they should based on their situation. So
Okay.
when you send it, you've hit a crucial point for financial stability. An emergency fund is vital, especially with the current credit card situation. So it goes through all that, da 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 da, emergency stuff, save it for 3 months. It explains to you, I guess, emergency stuff things. Emergency fund, he has to determine how much. So it's giving me, if I wanted just the answer, I probably should have put like, just give me the answer without explanation.
Mm.
But for the sake of your own financial literacy, just like AI literacy, this is actually good for to
Okay.
read through, especially if the goal is to get better with the finances. So it just tells you how you can manually figure this out yourself. Like you go through your expenses, calculate all of these, and it pull all these from based on what's the on the bank statements, that there is a rent, there's a mortgage, there's utilities, and there's groceries. But it says like don't dine out too much. But context for Washington D.C. So okay, so it's considering the area that the person lives in on their bank statements to say, oh, the average. So this is what it's doing that Notebook LM doesn't do. Like it's searching the internet just to get the context before determining your monthly contribution. A balanced approach is key. Initial small funds, aggressive debt payment after a small starter fund once the debt is managed. So for this one, like therefore a practical approach for your client would be immediately pay off the past due amount. Okay, next priority. So it's telling you the steps that you can take. So if you actually want like, let me just finish read through this and see if it actually gives like how much to put monthly. But I think this is actually better than just telling you a number because it's explaining to you how you get to this point, and then eventually it says simultaneously devote as much extra money as possible each month. Given the current balance, this will likely require significant money commitment beyond the current payment. Let me see. Okay, so I guess it finally answered to say transfer about $50 to $100 or more if possible after debt repayment to your emergency fund. But so you see how the difference is that same question we asked Notebook LM. This is how Chat Gemini answered it. Like it breaks it down because it's able to search the internet. But there's still a benefit to Notebook LM when it comes to this. And I think the more you use it, for me, I see the benefit because I've used it a lot. And the benefit is it keeps all my sources here and I never have to like refer to, oh, this one, that one. And then I can put on or off which one I wanted to search on. And I no guarantee when it gives me an answer, especially if you want to do calculations, it's going to give me the right one because it's just looking at my documents here. And then, but like that other question, for example, if I want to like help, I wanted to help me with planning and like things that are not on the document, then yes, Gemini and ChatGPT are definitely good for that. Like this, I'll use for like planning, but this is just to actually Notebook LM is good just to understand your current situation because that's really really important. And the fact that you can add more and more and more into it, and then the more it knows the better, especially as you're improving. So if you add more like the other bank statements, it can see the progress of your improvement, and then whatever you learn here to situate your condition, then you can take into Gemini or ChatGPT, or just keep everything in ChatGPT and Gemini and just make sure that you are aware that some of the information that it's giving you on the advice, it's based on internet research. So make your decisions wisely when you're deciding on what to do based on its advice from the internet. But outside of that, I think that's it for those demos. Let me go and see live demo, ChatGPT, analyzing bank statements. So we walk through the prompt, help me summarize this bank statement, what categories. You know what? Let's just go ahead and use this prompt since they're here anyways. So I'll use this prompt and then we can wrap, well, yeah, wrap it up, I guess. Prompt health. Explain the lab results in simple terms. What are the normal ranges? What's high and low? What could it mean? Well, we kind of actually went through that because it gave the lab results and then helped me summarize this bank statement. What categories do my expenses fall under? Where can I reduce spending? It already gave that. So there was no need to prompt that. And then this is a bill from this company. Break down the charges and explain what I'm paying for. Are there hidden fees? I think that's actually a really good one to do for financial. There's no bill that I have there to put to show, but this would be a good one. So as you can see, you can definitely learn your own data and understand situation using AI. Um, and I just actually really encourage you guys to do that if you need it and if you want to. But an important thing to remember, if you do care, because some people don't care and that's fine. But if you do care about your private information, make sure that you find a way to remove it before you share it. So a really good one to do if you can get your the document on like a application with paint so you can paint over it. So something like this. Like this, I just took a screenshot, but let me see. Just to show an example of what I'm talking about, how you can do it if it's not an app. I'm going to look and see if there's an app that can do it automatically through the whole document. But let's say, for example, this. And then we click save. And then let's go to the download. Let's say test. So let's just pretend that this, where's the screen? Downloads, open with. So let's just pretend that this is a financial statement. Let's just pretend. So to remove your private information or to redact it, what you would do in whatever application, paint application you have, you take your paintbrush. I haven't used paint in a long time, but let's see how this works. You go ahead and erase. Nope, that wouldn't. Well, that's a very tedious way to do it, but I wonder, does this brush get bigger? Anyways, but that is how I would say to do it anyways. But if you can find a bigger paintbrush or better art application, do that. But this is redacting, removing the data. There has to be another tool to actually automatically redact this because I know that they do it in the companies. So we'll look and I'll share, but this is how you'll do it because that's very tedious. I don't actually want you guys to. No, that's tedious. But all right, so that's that. Abu, do you have any questions? All right,
No,
so
ma. No, ma. No question, no.
okay. So pick one document from your file, a medical form, a confusing bill, a budget. Okay, so this is just like a challenge, I guess, something that would be your homework, but it's the end of the class. So it's just something that you can do is pick one of your own files, whether it's something, a document you don't understand. So it could be medical, financial, like a contract, anything, and then remove the private information if you want to, and then put it in ChatGPT, Notebook LM, and Gemini, and just see what you um, can do with it. Information and share if you want to, but if you don't want to, that's fine. But you know what? I'll talk to you later on and see if you've practiced, anyways. But that's the end of class. Wait, hold on. There's one thing I wanted to show. because since you reminded me of something when you were showing the presentation, right? The
Mm-hmm.
JOTS form one. It reminded me of some other way to. Actually, this is just a test. I just want to test this. I'm not sure if it'll work, but just a test. Okay. So this is. I'm gonna take one of the meeting notes and see if we can create. This canvas thing has abilities to do things. So let me just. I'll just talk through as I'm doing this. I'm going to add the file. I'm going to add one of the transcript from the class that we had. So the workshop meeting notes, I'm going to add the transcript just to see like a way to present information. Because a job form, that's really good because they're narrating and then you can ask questions. You can't do that here in Gemini with the narration, but there's other things you can do too. So insert the document. When we insert the document here, and you click canvas because you want to click this canvas to bring it up, and then we click
Okay.
enter. Um, create. Uh, I want to create a presentation to teach the information in the document. Hmm. Actually, you know what? Without a prompt, before even a prompt, let me see what it does if we just click send. But you can't click send, you have to type something. Okay. So you click
Mm-hmm.
send, canvas, and then you send. So right now it's analyzing the document and then it's brings up, since I said I petition, it brings up the information here and it breaks it down with the slide titles, slide. So this is something you can probably create. Well, it just helps to guide you if you're doing like a PowerPoint presentation. So it's not fully creating everything, but
Okay.
let me see. But with the canvas, you can add or remove things. So I'm going to remove the presenter part for this sake because I want it to be so the title, the subtitle, the course. Okay. And then what you can do, you can say change length because I do want to make it longer, make it very long because I want to use as much information as possible. Okay. So it expanded on it, the information on the slides. So what I actually want to see, this was day one. So let me see, day one, welcome, artificial intelligence, purpose, the target audience, whether you're a complete beginner, structure, apply prompt engineering. What is our okay? So once it's doing this, we're going to click on this thing called create. It creates like a website or presentation based on the information. So I'm just wondering, we're just exploring together. So this is already good if you just want to manually create the presentation on PowerPoint. So you just copy and paste, but you do have to do a lot of other work, you know. But wow, this is taking a while. Sorry. Okay. So this is a very long one, very very long. But let's see when we create. Remember, like I showed how to create the website, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I was just looking to see, okay, well, if you're trying to teach information, what other ways can it be presented? Like I wonder if this would do a good job at presenting it. So one of them is we can do a quiz because that's really for the class. It could be a quiz or an audio overview, which I think Jotform actually did with that lady talking. She's talking
Mm-hmm.
through it. That's very smart. Quiz or infographics. So I'm wondering for the infographic first, and then I also want to see what quiz it creates. Yeah, the website, it'll just be a website, but let's see what infographic it creates. Now, job form is the benefit of, for what I see so far, I haven't seen everything because you said they are updating things every day. So it's very advanced, it seems like. But that one is very
Okay.
useful, especially when somebody just wants to like listen and learn and ask
Yes.
questions, so that
Mhm.
this is not even going to probably, no, this is not to say to as an alternative. Job form is good on its own. This is just to see what this looks like
Okay.
separately.
Preview it. Just press preview. Let's see what is in the preview.
The preview, well, you can't. You have to wait till it generates it. Okay, so the preview, let me see, generative AI, your guide. So the infographic distills. Okay, so it just changes the way you read it. Okay, so it's
Mhm.
easier to digest. Pattern, generative AI toolkit, different toolkits. Okay, conceptual strength, ChatGPT, image generation quality, blending, text generation. This chart shows a conceptual comparison of leading AI tools based on their primary strengths. Okay. The ones that we discussed in the class.
Mhm.
So okay, so this is useful, but definitely different because it's not talking you through the information or presenting it in that way that we like a class, like a review, but it's just like a quick thing to look. I guess like if you just want to show something quick, like hey, this is what is in the class, but it's not like a preview to somebody who may be interested, but the one that you created was more like a review for people who didn't show up in class or they want to learn, like actual students, I think
Mhm. Yes.
because it goes in
Mhm.
depth and explains and they can ask and all of that, or if they're interested and you just don't need to be there to answer their questions. But
Mhm.
okay, AI in your daily life, writing assistance, draft email. Okay, I see. This is like a quick one, like if you're pitching something. I think this is good if you're pitching the class, like hey, I want to teach a class and this is just what it's about, just take a look. And then okay, applying this concept to class development your hypothesis. Okay, with this, let me see, now I want to see what it looks like,
When you share.
not to share, but when you, oh, I can't do that, or you can only create it once because I want to create it, the quiz. Well, to share I can copy the canvas, the link, can do that, but I wanted to see the quiz option, but it's not giving. Oh, okay. If I come back here, okay. So
Mhm.
this is the one that it created. Okay. So if I go back, I can go to the original one, create quiz.
Yes. Yes.
While it's creating the quiz, let me see how the link looks like when you share it. Okay. Okay. So this is it when you share it. It's like a
Mhm.
page.
Mhm.
Okay. Interesting. Um, Gemini. So the quiz. Okay. Let's take a quiz together. Hold on a second. This is your class quiz. Hold on. I'm getting a call, but I need to. Okay, well, let's take a pop quiz for the last day of class. A user. Okay, go ahead. You read and answer. I'll follow your instructions. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, let me just. It says a user needs to create a unique artistic profile picture for their social media account based on a text description. Which type of AI tools will be most suitable for this task? A. Natural language processing (NLP) as a standalone tool. Then B. Generative AI specialized in in image generation. C. Traditional rule-based software like a photo editor filter. D. A standard word processing with AI features. Well, my answer is B. The one I say is B.
Okay, this type of AI is trained on vast data sets of images and text, enabling it to synthesize entirely new visual based on other user prompts. All right,
Mhm.
next one.
You ask an AI, can you help me organize my notes for the upcoming history exam? What key technology allows the AI to understand the meaning and intent behind your everyday language? A. A customized GPT. B. Traditional software rule. C. Natural language processing. D. Then image generation. Then C. NLP.
All right, that's what's up. Go ahead, just read this. It's for your own learning.
Mhm. NLP is the specific branch of AI focuses on enabling computer to interp- interpret, and respond to human language. Yes, you have taught me this.
All right, that
Three, if you want to create a highly stylish artistic image with a distinct visual flair for a creative project, which tool from the presentation will be the most appropriate choice? A. Mid-Journey. B. Cloud Anthropic. C. GMA for presentation. D. Wix Google.
do you want a hint? It says show hint.
Yes.
Okay,
Mm-hmm. Yes, and
because this one we didn't show in class to like use it,
the
so I guess.
presentation highlights one tool as being a favorite among artists and designers for its artistic output. Mm, okay, it's cloud,
Okay,
cloud.
yeah, it's Mid Journey.
Ah, yes, mid. Eh.
Yeah, yeah, Mid Journey. That's a very popular
Mid
one.
journey.
Mhm.
Mid journey. Okay. A, a user in the USA and a user in Sierra Leone enter the exact same prompt into an AI video generated, but get stylistically different results. What is the most likely reason for this discrepancy? One user internet connection is faster than the other. The user have different subscript level to the service. The AI trained data reflect regional and cultural difference. The AI C.
Okay, you said I already know.
Mhm.
Yes.
AI module are trained on vast data sets that include regional content, which can cause the AI to generate output that reflects the artistic prevalence in a user geographical location.
All right. You said I'm not even looking at the last one.
You have a 2-hour audio recording of a project meeting and need to quickly identify the main decisions and action item. What is the most efficient way to use AI for this task? Ask an AI image generator to create a picture of the meeting. No. Use a service to transcript the audio to text. Then paste the transcript into an AI and ask it to summarize the keynote. Manually list manually listen to the record and type notes into a traditional word process. Ask a chat bot for general advice on how to be more organized. You have a 2 hour. Use a service to transcribe the audio to text. This could cover the audio to text. Okay, it's B. B.
All right, that's right.
It's good. Mhm. This approach currently uses AI to automate the time consuming task of summarizing a large volume of text, which is a key product benefit. According to the presentation, in which scenario should you be most curious about relying on AI to draft your message? Okay, A, generating a to-do list for your daily tasks. B, responding to a text message from a close friend about a personal matter. C, write a professional email to a potential client. D, ask for a summary of a news article. Is C. C.
According to presentation, which scenario would you most cautious about relying? Okay,
On the
so this one it's I think it just depends on the person because it's really based on according to the the meeting, the presentation. And I
mm-hmm.
think it's mainly because I mention how I am careful about using that anymore to write messages.
Okay,
So it's not a
okay,
fact
okay,
to say it's not a fact, it's just my personal, so it picked it up. That's why.
okay.
Now,
So like what yeah, for professional email, you know that it's going out for a client. So as soon as you
exactly.
generate it, you should be curious about it and go over it so that you will edit some things, some words and
Exactly. Exactly. So this is really just based on what was on the class. It's not based on like a
okay.
fact. Because I did mention about I see why.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why like I guess this quiz it would be something to like have to if it's for the
Mm-hmm.
class if I'm actually trying to quiz for the class, I will probably come here, go through my stuff and tell it like, remove this one or update the right answer.
Okay.
But this is just based on my own
Okay.
personal. Yeah, because I said
Okay.
something about over reliance can dilute your personal voice and weakness. So I think all of them can be true, but yeah, this definitely for sure you have to check it before you send it. But yeah, so I wouldn't say you're
Mm-hmm.
wrong really, but for the quiz, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this one,
Yes. Okay. The next one. What is the primary goal for prompt engineering? To text the AI for bugs and error. No. To increase the AI processing speed. To guide an existing AI model to produce a more accurate and detailed output. C.
correct.
Prompt engineering focus on crafting effective instruction to steer the AI generating process and achieve a specific outcome. It's a user gives the prompt, tell me about cars. Which of the following additions should most effectively improve the prompt by adding clear content and specifics and specificity? A. Putting the original prompt in all capital letter. No. B. Change it to white or detailed history of the Ford Mustang for a high school car club presentation. Make the prompt longer by asking, can you please tell me? anything you know about cars. Then D, adding please and thank you. I think I think it's C. It's C. Which adding trans
Okay, I'm gonna say think about it again.
okay, let me see. Consider which consider which addition transform the request from a generic query into a task with a specific goal and audience. Okay, they say put the original, okay, nothing. Uh, changing it to writing a detailed history of the Ford Mustang for a highly for a yes B specific yes
Yeah.
yes it's B yeah it's a specific audience yes. So here the audience is high school car club presentation. High
Hmm.
school car club is a specific. Mhm.
Hmm. Yeah, because this one, all it does is just make it longer. You know.
Yeah. Mm. Number nine, when designing a prompt to generate a business plan, which element will be best? The tone. A. Ask for the output to be a 10-page document. A. B. Requesting a formal and persuasive writing style. C. Specify the business is a small independent coffee shop. D. Telling the AI the exact any mention of the competition of the competitor. The one I see is B, requesting a formal and persuasive writing style.
Hmm.
What design a prompt to generate a business plan? Which
Miss.
element will be defined the tone? Yes, is
Okay,
tone is about the style. Yes, it's B, writing style.
that's right.
This directly instructs the AI on the desired attitude and style of the language to be used in the document. Okay. 10 over 10. For the Osusu chatbot, yeah, then count Osusu.
Yeah.
Okay. For the Osusu chatbot class project, what is the primary reason for focusing only on logging contribution and providing summary rather than handling actual money transfer? A. Money transfer APIs are not compatible with AI. B. Logging contribution is a more interesting AI challenge. C. Handling financial transaction is complex and required high security, which is beyond the scope of a 4 day beginner training. D. Twilio WhatsApp API does not support sending financial data. Who is there? I think the answer is A.
All right, look at
Hello.
the hints.
Is it A?
Consider the
Let
constraints of a short introductory level course.
Okay, consider the constraint of a short. Okay, yes, it's C. It's C.
Yeah,
4 days training. Yes, exactly. C.
yeah, yeah. For the A1 money transfers, they are compatible with API. It was just I haven't created it, but I know they are. Hmm. With AI, they are because I guess since the other you said that the other apps they're compatible. Like that's where you can
Yes, they
transfer
are
money to
compatible.
different accounts. Hmm.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So this is your result.
8/10, 80%. Whoa, I did
Okay.
it.
All right. Nice work completing the quiz. You did a great on most. Okay. Wow. Highlights your strong grasp of AI core concept. Practical, your answers demonstrate a good understanding of how to practically apply AI. All right. Good job.
Thank you.
This is cool. Wow. See this, you know what? Now I know. Just a quiz after every class. I think it's okay. I didn't know you could do this because it's a way to help retain, like after maybe after each class, the next day, the next class have a quiz on the
Yes,
previous class.
yes.
Like,
Mm-hmm. That will help.
yeah, I think that would be very helpful. Okay. Um. All right. That's that, and I guess after this, that's it. We're done. But while we were going through, I just wanted to show something quick, and I know we keep going over. I don't think it's possible for me just to do 1 hour for now, but because I keep thinking of things of how it can be very helpful, right? So I was just saying, one thing to do that anybody can do, like as far as okay, I learned all this AI stuff. One thing it's really good just individually as a person to know because with AI growing, if you use computers and everything, you'll come into interaction with it more and more, and you can use it for your own
Yes.
personal stuff, like we show here, to understand your own things. But if you're somebody who wants to
Mm-hmm.
use AI to make money, to use the skills that you just learned with AI literacy and the things that you're doing, this class alone is not
Mm-hmm.
going to teach you everything in depth of what you need to do, but you can
Mm-hmm.
take these skills to actually with your own determination and work and like network, like finding clients, whether it's private or companies, you can actually do these. Because when you were talking about when the quiz was showing about the meeting notes, how you can
Mm-hmm.
transcribe the notes and make it summarize them, that's something
Yes.
I can imagine. Maybe not a company would hire somebody to do, but it's a task somebody can ask, like, hey, can you do this for me quick, like side gig,
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
just want.
Exactly.
Exactly. Or like if you've gained all these skills now, so like say example, like you can use AI to help you brainstorm like things you can do. So if you're like,
Mm-hmm.
I just took an AI this is just hypothetical literacy class, and even from this class, like you definitely have to practice and learn a lot
Mm-hmm.
more about what it is you want to make money out of. But
Okay.
Ellie learned how to create how to like you can put a list of things that you learned, or if it's from the class information, copy and paste what you learn, transcripts, I don't know. What else did we learn? How to create an AI knowledge base. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what else did we do? How to use AI to create documents like a BUS. That one, I maybe let me remove that, but let me just say requirement because the specific document would depend on the person, what their expertise
Mm-hmm.
is. But
Yes.
I'll just put it. I guess I'll just like for me requirement document. What else did we learn? And then there was something else. Can you remember? Okay, how to create a prototype of an app using Firebase. We did that. Remember the app that we created,
Mm-hmm.
the prototype,
Mm-hmm.
Firebase. Um, and then you can also so with this alone, you say as a career coach, Can you help me brain? Um, and then we can also add what did you let me see, because then you can add what you learned, but then you can combine it with the other things
Image
that you already
generation.
like what you already
Image
know how to do
generation.
too. Like
Mm. Image generation using Soraya.
and then how about for you specifically? What do you already do? Like say example like your resume. So what you can do is also add like your resume here if you want to like
Mm.
for it to consider the skills you already have. So what
Okay.
Abu for you specifically, what would you say your previous skills is or job? Like what do you do?
Well, well. First of all, on my resume, I have a certificate in
Okay, so
computer software application, and also a degree in development studies.
computer software application,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a degree in what?
Development studies.
And then as far as work, what kind of work do you do or have you done?
Well, virtual assistants.
So you can type this, and ideally, I think for it to be best is if you have a sample of your resume, add your resume
Okay.
there. If you don't have a resume, create your resume using the AI. You know, tell it everything you have, and be
Okay.
like, "Can you create my resume based on my like the jobs you've had?" You can use AI to help you create your resume, and then add that resume here. So with
Okay.
that, we can, and then be like, um, I am based. I live in Sierra Leone. Let's put that. I live
Okay.
in Sierra Leone and can work vir- virtually. So let me just put that. I was gonna put.
Mm-hmm.
I think you should understand what that means. Like you can work with people in Sierra Leone and outside of Sierra Leone. As a career coach who has experience with. Let me just put as a career coach as a successful.
Mm-hmm.
Can you help me
Okay. Yeah.
brainstorm how I can use this knowledge and skills to make money?
Mm.
What
And I offer. Yeah. Oh.
that's just extra that I put there, but I was just doing this to show like, how you can use AI to just help you brainstorm how you can make money or how you can change or add to your the ways you make money. Or just
Okay.
outside of this that outside of the money part, but just how you can use the skill. Let's say okay, it's for making money, right? Or just to
Mm-hmm.
help businesses and individuals and brainstorm with it because I did use AI to help me brainstorm how to come up with this class. It took like time and
Mm-hmm.
everything where it combined my previous experience to the AI, which for me it just worked out
Mm-hmm.
because I worked with AI anyways. But this is just the
Mm-hmm.
way I think AI itself, artificial intelligence, like the prompt engineering and the did I put prompt engineering and the literacy? That's a skill, so it's not specific
Mm-hmm.
to one job. It's just a skill that you can use in a lot of jobs. So here it
Okay.
just goes over and tells you absolutely you got a strong future-proof foundation in literacy, virtual assistants, tech-savvy tools, in a global perspective. This makes it powerful for both, service and income. And it just gives you your strengths. These are your strengths here. You can add or remove, because these are stuff
Okay.
that you learn in class. But if you have more stuff, you can monetize your services. You can offer here services you can offer virtually, AI powered virtual assistants, meeting transcription. Now you can do that quickly. Although when you do this, I
Mm-hmm.
would say don't tell them, hey, I can get you your meeting notes today, maybe like tomorrow or next day.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to
Mm-hmm.
know all that, but it just helps you get your
Yeah.
work done. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you can some just all these things. It's just guiding you what you can do. AI powered systems, AI knowledge based SOP builder. This one is one that I'm looking into because a lot of companies they look for this knowledge base, the AI knowledge base where
Mm.
they can search your data, and that's where Notebook LM is very helpful for them for the knowledge
Okay.
base. So whether it's for their employee training or for their together like their standard operating procedures, it would be good. And I say this because it's free for you to build and free for them to use. You can also use ChatGPT for that, but at some point, a company might want more than what the free plan is. But that, and then with Notebook LM, because since multiple users can use a notebook, they can use it within their company, not just for one person. So just things like these, it can help you like this. Yeah. I don't know about Sierra Leone, but I know in America, yes. Like I mean, we put Sierra Leone anyway, so it's definitely put in considering that, you know. Prompt engineering for small teams or creators, so offer create a library of custom prompts to help. App prototyping as a service. You see all these things that just help you think of like what to offer, you know. Now, ideally, you don't want to offer all these things all at once. Maybe focus on one at a time. When you get that one good and going and it's easy for you to do. Anyways, I'm not a career coach, so let me not go into like the approach, but it's just this is how you can brainstorm and pick one or more to offer to people to do as a way to make money with this AI skill. It's a very new skill, although if you're in learning about it and researching now, it seems like everybody knows it, but it's still very new. So people would appreciate how you can help them out using AI. And using AI, you can keep researching and figuring out, okay, which one works best for me out of all of these as you do research. And the more you learn, because you probably learn more and more skills, like, okay, how can I change and add and do some of that? So that's all. So bonus niche, if you want, you could brand yourself as AI productivity coach for remote African professionals. I don't know. Just all right, so that's that. I'll give you this, that way you can have um access to it. Let me share the link to you on
Okay,
WhatsApp.
no problem. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I just wanted to share that how, with all this learning and skills, yes, it's good for people to have, not even for the sake of making money or work, but
Mm-hmm.
if you're interested in making money out of it and for work, use AI to help
Mm-hmm.
you out. And if you have your
Mm-hmm.
resume, upload it and then get more feedback on what you can do.
I'm going to do more research on this. By next week, I'm going to make my flower. I know that I'm going to have my business.
Hey, you see, I know you. That's why I'm like, let me show him this. I know this guy. This man is a man of action. That's why I'm like,
I
let
dey
me
make.
show him
I'm
that
going.
you can already get
Mm,
started.
I'm
Yeah.
going to make my flower next week, advertising it on all social media.
Hey, I know that's right. He said everybody gonna know about Abu's AI services.
Exactly. Exactly.
Let them know, and then you can teach. Like I said,
Thank you so much.
you're welcome. And then so from this one now, we're going to meet on Saturday. You're going to present.
Okay, no problem. On
Yeah.
Saturday,
So
I'm
you
going to present.
present, um, record. I can record for you, or you can record. But well, actually, since you're able to record, right?
Yes, I can record.
Okay, record and then you upload it to your YouTube, and then the link
Mm,
I'll create. I'll create something, whether it's a post on YouTube or a quick video for a class assignment, and then you just put the link on the comment.
Okay.
Yeah, I think what I'll do, let me see, maybe a post, because yeah, I'll do a post instead for, because I think this is the way I would want to do it. Like when I actually offer the class and other students, because I think this encourages you also, like you said, since you want to, put yourself out there, it encourages you to start building
Mm-hmm.
your content.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'll put it under post here, either under
Okay.
post and then put a post here, something about a class assignment. But since the reason why I'm thinking maybe a video, because the post over time, the more you post, it goes under and under.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'll do a post or just do a playlist and
A
make the
playlist.
playlist like
Yes.
class
Okay.
assignment playlist. And then when you go on
Mm-hmm.
that post, the class assignment, you just put a comment
Yes.
with your post, with your recording, the link to your recording,
Okay. Okay. No
Yeah. So I
problem.
think maybe a playlist. I might create just like a playlist,
Okay.
like a class assignment playlist, something like that. Presentation.
Okay.
I'll let you know. You already know. I'll let you know.
Okay.
But
No
yeah,
problem.
okay, Abu. Well, I'm very excited for you. Like the AI services, you're coming for them. Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good job on the quiz. And thank
Mm-hmm.
you so much. Like I really appreciate this because doing this with you, the way you are very I don't know the word, but you want to learn and you're learning and you're
Mm-hmm.
applying it. It's encouraging me to keep teaching and realize like, okay, this is a very useful thing to teach. So thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just
Yeah.
looking
Thank you
forward
too.
to you. And then one day maybe you can actually, with all the money you make, you can go get a farm to go make your chicken farm,
Yeah. The
right?
chicken.
Exactly.
Those chicken. We are planning for them.
Exactly. So make this AI
We are
money so you
planning
can
for
go
the
make the
chicken.
chicken.
And also, when you come to Africa, you are going to eat chicken. Oh,
Okay, I'm ready. I also
ah,
want mangoes.
vegetarian. You are going to leave it in the US. When you go to US, you are vegetarian. When you come to Africa, you eat chicken.
He said no vegetarian in Africa. Hey Lord.
Yeah,
But you know what? I
yeah,
don't mind because I know the chicken, it's natural. You're growing it
yes, yes.
naturally. You're not
Mm-hmm.
putting all the other chemicals,
Yes.
so I don't mind.
Oh, yeah. Okay, no problem.
All right,
No
thank you
problem.
very much. And we'll meet
Yeah,
on
thank you.
let me see,
Saturday.
Saturday. What time on Saturday is best?
Well, the time is up to you because after exercising in the morning, I have to go to the beach. Okay, I have to be there up till 12. So 12 there is 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's 8 a.m. to you.
Okay. The beach, what is it you're doing? Is it just something for fun, leisure, or
Yes, I'm jogging.
okay? I mean, are you meeting with other people? Because if you want time, you can take your time, and then we can meet maybe on Sunday.
Okay,
Or
no
later
problem.
on, not
No,
in the
no, let's do
morning,
it
the
on
afternoon.
Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, in the afternoon. Yes, let's do it Saturday in the afternoon.
Okay. All right. So maybe we'll just you said what time is it for you there when you do it? What time are you
Um,
done with the jogging?
from 8 to 12.
So 12 o'clock, one, maybe 2 o'clock, so it can give you time to
Yes,
get
2 o'clock.
home
Yes, yes.
and
Yes, 2 o'clock is sent to you there.
yeah, yeah. So 2 o'clock. But we'll just stay in touch. If 2 o'clock is too soon, we will be like, okay, give me 30 more minutes, give me an hour. But we'll just aim 2 o'clock, and if you need more time to like reset, let me know because I can wait till 2 or 3 o'clock if you need more time.
Okay.
Since
Okay,
for
no
me it's
problem.
10 o'clock for me. So
Okay.
all right, okay. Well, this is great. I can't wait to see your presentation. Thank you very much. Class is
Thank
done,
you too.
and oh my god, this is so cool. All right, bye.
Mhm. Thank you. Bye.
Mhm.